always great when we get the opportunity to catch up with our next guest. We talked to him a number of times over the years, but I don't think we've talked to him since he's become a national champion. He is the pride of Harford County. He is a former Terp, and he is coming back home this weekend. He's got his HEMBeast camp once again back home at John Carroll. He is now Las Vegas Raiders running back, Mr. Roman Hemby, and he's with us once again here on GCR. Roman, it's Glenn in Baltimore. It's great to chat with you, man. Thank you so much for taking the time for us.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man. It's awesome to, get the opportunity to talk to you all.
Absolutely, brother. Roman, I know it's been a wild year for you, man. Like, I know this has probably been the most unbelievable year of your life. Can you describe, like, the ups, the downs? Like, I know you didn't want to leave. Like, you were not in a rush to get out. To have it play out the way that it did, for you to end up in the situation that you ended up at Indiana, to win a national title, how do you describe all of the ups and the downs of the last year?
Yeah, really, just giving all the thanks to God. I feel like without him, this journey wouldn't have went the way that it went. I feel like having a great support system and the family and the friends that I have around me, they made this leap of faith that I like to call it very easy for me. It was a tough journey having to, leave home, go somewhere else, and try to make a name for myself elsewhere, and for it to end the way that it did, and for us to go 16-0, win a national championship, and for me to make one of my dreams come true of making it to the NFL. It's definitely battling adversity and making it out on the right side, and just trusting God and sticking to the plan, regardless of how you feel and how things are going.
It's so special, man. Roman, what were those moments like? Right, like when you knew it was coming to an end at Maryland. Did you fear like I don't know what this means for me? Did you know that there was interest in places like that? What were those moments like?
It was a lot of things up in the air. Leaving Maryland was very tough for me. I really didn't want to do it. Everybody knows a little bit about the journey and the
Yeah.
story of how everything came about. But, like I said, I reflected with my family. We had kind of a bridge in the road and didn't know, fork in the road, didn't know which way we wanted to go, whether we wanted to test the NFL last year or, go back to college and see if I could finish on a up and up and on a high note. And I felt like I had, a lot left to prove, a lot for myself and for others around me. They felt the same way, that I had more to prove and more for myself. So I did go into the portal, and it was tough. The portal is really hard. It's a lot of speed dating that goes on in the portal. Some people go in the portal and never find a way to stick or make it out and find a better situation. So everybody's familiar with the saying that the grass isn't always greener. So I had to think of that and make a calculated risk, and I made the best risk I could have
Yeah,
made,
it
man, in
it
Indiana.
worked out all right for you. It worked out okay in the end. Roman, what is the special sauce there, right? Like everybody, it feels impossible. From being at Maryland, like Indiana was not a powerhouse whatsoever. Why is it so special? Why is Kurt Signetti able to do the job that he does? Like, how did it happen? What you guys were able to do there?
I really think that it starts with, contrary to what everybody says, coaching and everything like that. And of course, that's, top of the line. Everybody's on the same accord, one mission, one center. Everybody goes along with that. But I really think it's the recruiting. They bring in guys that have great culture, veteran guys that have been experienced, seen a little bit, and just really are in a state of mind in their careers where they want to band together and do something bigger than themselves and be something bigger than themselves. So I really think it's just a culmination of having guys that are just so like-minded in the same room, and guys that have the tools and the experience to also be successful. And I feel like when you paired us with the great coaching staff that we had and the philosophy of Coach Sig, I mean, I can go on for hours talking about the things that he's done to really flip the program. But being able to put all those things together and strike when the iron is hot, I feel like that was really something that helped us to get over that hump and to beat some of those teams down that stretch when it was really tough.
Roman Hemby is with us. The HEMBeast camp is back at John Carroll this Sunday. Roman, you say that about like I want to give you hours, but like can you Coach Sig from afar, he almost seems a little Belichickian, right? Like he's not the type of wild, crazy personality, but what is it about him? Like what how this is impossible what he's done. Impossible. How? Like what makes him so special?
I think it's just the way he goes about everything. He means business, and he surrounds himself with people that make him better in every way, shape, or form. So I think it's really just his smarts. He has a lot of smarts. He's under the Saban tree. He's been around. He's seen a lot of great football, coached a lot of great football at every level. And I think it's just really, his philosophy on how he goes about things. From the way that we practice, we get just enough for us to get every exposure that we could in the game, so that when it comes about, it's second nature to us. It's not something that we haven't seen before. And I think it's just the way that he goes about everything. Like, everything you've heard about him is correct. Like, he's in the film room day and night. I remember one of my first days out there when I got to Indiana, and he's like quoting stuff that happened when I was still on Maryland playing them the year before.
Wow.
Like, he like has a calculated brain. He like sees film in the daily life. He might see a play during practice and know like, hey, that receiver split. If he's not 1 yard wider, this play won't work. And it's like it comes down to a T like that, and it works out every time.
That is, boy, we're jealous. We're jealous. You were probably the perfect person to ask this question to, because Indiana doing something like this, we've always believed that only the Blue Bloods, right? Like only the Alabamas of the world and the Ohio States and the Michigans, those are the only types of schools that can win national championships. So the question that comes when an Indiana wins is, well, could it be Maryland? Like, could it be that you know these two places really well? Is it possible that like there's a blueprint there for a school like Maryland to be able to follow to figure out how to become one of the Blue Bloods?
Oh, most definitely. I still have a great relationship with some of the coaches there. All of the coaches that I was able to play under, and some of my past teammates that are still there. I feel like they have every tool possible. Great strength coaches, great football coaches, great players, great support staff in general. I think that they have the players as well. You see some of the young guys that are there. I really just think it takes a little bit of molding. Just trusting the process. And I know that they're a great team. They'll be a great team. They've always been. I always say it. I could be biased just because I've been under the program. I was under the program for 4 years. I feel like they have the tools every year to be successful. We just got to make sure. They just got to make sure they put the stuff together when it matters the most, and just trusting the process, and continuing to get better every day. I think that they can do it. I think anybody can do it with the new landscape of college football, and I most definitely think that Maryland can get it done if they, make some plays on when it matters most. They can make it.
We hope you're right about that, man. You just sort of answered one of the questions that I wanted to ask you. Like, your relationship with Maryland, the heartbreak of that's where you wanted to be, but it didn't work out. I think that a lot of people would say, man, wouldn't you be bitter about that? Like, wouldn't that be the type of thing? But that would maybe make you say, no, I'm an Indiana guy. That's what I'm gonna represent Indiana for the rest of my life. But you just said you're there for 4 years. What does that relationship look like, with you and Coach Loxley? And this is still home, obviously, for you. Like, do you still have that feeling? Will you still, like, represent Maryland for the rest of your life?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I got my degree from the University of Maryland, so that's still my alma mater, regardless of how things shook out. And I really just think it's really a business move how it moved out. It was never really a shot to try to hurt anyone's feelings on either end. We just had to do what was best for myself, and they had to do what was best for the program. So I could really never have any ill will or hate towards anyone in the program, and I feel like it's reciprocated towards me. I feel like they have love and respect for me the same way I have love and respect for them. And it's just the way that the new landscape is. And I know Coach Locks, he alluded to that years in the past. Just how the landscape of college football was changing, and never thought that it would be my situation. But
Mm-hmm.
you never know how things can shake out. And I feel like everything happens for a reason. I feel like we're all in the position that we're supposed to be in because of what God has for us. And I definitely still love those guys, and I know they still love me. And that'll be my school for the rest of my life. Likewise with Indiana. Those are the two places that made me who I am today, and I wouldn't be myself without either of those universities. So I love both of them.
All right, we love that. Sounds that sounds good to us, and the reason was it worked out pretty well for you, so it's easier to feel that
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
Um,
very.
Roman, given everything in your life, right? Like nothing's ever been given to you. You've had to work for every opportunity. I assume that there was some real heartbreak for not getting drafted, but how quickly for you does that turn into, all right, man, here we go again. Like I've been here before. I know what I have to do in order to earn my opportunity and prove that I really am that guy at the NFL level.
Yeah, I feel like I've been underrated my whole life. Even in high school, going to a B level school in the state of Maryland, we were kind of overlooked in that regard. You know, I was blessed enough to be able to make it to the University of Maryland, but I always felt that maybe a little bit overlooked. And I always took it as a chip on my shoulder, never really wanted to put somebody down to get an advantage or anything like that. But I always felt that I was the guy, and I still feel like I am. You know, regardless of how I say things, you know, I'm as humble as they come. But you know, you have to have that kind of swagger to you. You have to move a certain way, just because you know I have been overlooked a lot, and I've always been able to make it to where I wanted to be at the end of the day. And I feel like that's kind of the resiliency that I carry with me. You know, as an undrafted free agent, going somewhere where nothing is promised, it's all earned, and I kind of wouldn't want to have it any other way. Just because I feel like it'll make the story greater when I accomplish the things that I want to accomplish, and even when things don't go the way that I want them to, I always know that God has a greater plan for me. I always battle through adversity, and I feel like once you prove to yourself that you can make it out, or you know, achieve the best no matter the circumstance or what situation you're handed, I think it gives you that tool to always want more and always find a way to make it happen. And I feel like my family also instilled that into me, and that's kind of what I carry on my day to day.
Man, knowing you, knowing your brother, I'm never gonna bet against you guys. I'm never gonna bet against the Hembies. Getting to do it with Fernando, right? Like, can you kind of describe? Everybody sees him. They all see the speeches. They all see his emotions, right? Like, what did you learn about him that makes him so special? And how cool is it for you that you get to be alongside him now, moving to the NFL?
Yeah, I'll start with the second part. I think it's really cool to, you know, transition from college and go to the NFL with, you know, a brother of mine, somebody that I went to war with, you know, for the past year, had success with, battled through adversity with, and to see the success that he's had, I feel like it's very encouraging, you know, to see somebody that puts in the work that he puts in, and go to work every day with the same mentality, as process driven as he is, and to see, you know, that kind of you know, work out for him is very awesome to be a part of this journey. And you know, playing alongside him, getting to see all the things that he was able to accomplish, it's really cool. I think the reason why he has the success that he has is not only does he have a good support system around him with the people that you know, his family and trainers and all that, but he doesn't hesitate to reach out for resources as well. I think that's
Hmm.
something that a lot of people think that they're too cool to do, and he doesn't think that. You know, he's one of those guys that um, he surrounds himself with people that makes him better and elevates his game in all facets. And I think that the way that he goes about his process is none other. I've never seen anybody do the things that he's done, and I feel like you know, that's probably a token to some of those guys like Tom Brady that he has as mentors to him. He's the first one in the building. He's going over steps even when we don't have practice. He's doing the little things that I feel like shows up on the field as an effortless thing on Saturdays, well Sundays now, but that's just the guy that he is and how he goes to work every day and makes those things second nature.
I actually wanted to ask, have you had the opportunity to meet Tom yet?
I have had the opportunity to meet him. He was around a little bit during OTA season and everything for us, and you know, he's one of those guys that's really pulling for us to flip the program and do some special things there. So he has been around. I haven't gotten a chance to meet him, you know, briefly, but
Where is
um,
that on your, like, you've obviously been able to do a lot of cool things in football, and nothing will compare to winning a national championship until you win a Super Bowl, I have no doubt. But like, separated from championships and winning, like, where is, like, oh my god, that's Tom Brady on the list of things you've been able to do because of football?
oh, it's definitely it's high up there.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like football has granted me a lot of opportunities, given me a lot of abilities that I feel like without the game I wouldn't have. But you know, getting to see somebody that's, you know, one of the greatest of all times in the sport of football, it's definitely a shocking moment,
It's
regardless
cool.
of if you prepare yourself for it or not.
That's cool. We kind of hated him here in Baltimore for a long time, but like, respect. Like, we know. It's
Right.
not like we don't know. We know, and that's probably why we hated him so much. Is he was so damn good. Roman, I remember talking to you the first time you did this. Why has this been so important you to go back to Harford County and you started it so quickly after, you left, right? Like, why has it been so important for you to do the HEMBeast camp, to try to be able to help kids back in your hometown?
I feel like it's very important. You know, we have a lot of guys in our area that do a lot of outreach and things of that nature to kind of give back to the community. But this is kind of my way of being able to get in the community. Guys that may look up to me or just want to learn the game of football in general. I feel like football has given me a lot of opportunities. I love to say that just because the game of football has taken me very far, and I feel like it's my debt of gratitude, something that I can give back to those people that maybe have aspirations the same as myself, or maybe feel underrated kind of the way that I do. Give them a little bit of tools, a little bit of support, and help them to kind of reach for their goals. And I love to be able to make a change in my community. My family, we're very big on that. We do a lot of things to uplift the people that we grew up around, or the people that are raising kids that we grew up around. So it's big for me to be able to get back in my community, show face, let them know that it can be done, share a little bit about my story, and let them have fun. I feel like kids want to enjoy their summer, they want to have fun. So why not be able to give back and be a part of a great experience as well.
Love everything about that. You can find out more right now by going to HEMBeast.com. You can also check out Roman's Instagram, R_Hemby, but replace the E with a 3, R_H3MBY. Are there still spots available, or have you guys filled up, Roman?
We're all filled up. We
Okay.
definitely have a lot of other things that people could come out and be a part of, but we have I believe 155 kids that signed
Wow,
up this
man.
year, which is the most that we've had. It's been on the up and up with our fourth year. This is definitely growing rapidly. We definitely filled up really fast, but there are a lot of community events and other festivities that people can take part of if they want to still show face.
Love that, man. HEMBeast.com, again, is the website. It was bittersweet, as I'm sure you'll understand. Like, we were so excited for you and so happy for you. We just wish it had still been here, like the way that was playing out. We will forever be rooting for you, dude. You are truly everything that we could ask for in a local athlete who cares about his community, and we can't wait to see what you're going to do at the next level. Roman Hemby, appreciate you. Congratulations on everything. Looking forward to chatting again. Thanks for taking the time for us.
Yeah, thank you so much. God bless.
It's Roman